Okay, in today's video, I'm going to talk about really how to know your soul client a little bit more deeper, or actually knowing a wee bit of the demographics and get a wee bit of a picture. So we're going to focus on ideal clients and soul clients, and I'll explain this a little bit more. Okay, so I want to talk about myths around around ideal clients. Okay, so particularly sometimes in the coaching industry and this kind of, how can you say, more personal development and high motivation industry, there can be some confusion when people are goal setting things around clients. Okay, and a lot of times people want, they wish they want people to be their clients. Okay, but your ideal client isn't just someone that you wish, and I'll explain this a wee bit more as we go further into this. But ideal clients are not someone who you merely wish to be a client. It's not everyone who has pain, stress, needs healing. So if you're a healer, everyone that needs healing is not your ideal client. If you have physical pain, or sorry, your client has physical pain, and you treat physical pain, not every client with pain is going to be your ideal client. Your ideal client is not necessarily the same client who goes to your therapist friend. Your ideal client is not the client you should think come to you. Your ideal client is not simply the clients who will pay the most. Your ideal clients are not the clients who just come for the freebies, and your ideal clients are not everyone in your local area. So let's start at the top. Okay, they're not merely someone who you merely wish to be a client. See, a lot of particularly as I said before, coaches and some types of therapies and healing, who aim at a certain type of audience, and they just want that type of person to be their ideal client. And a lot of times they're focusing on what they class as high end, or people that are paying the money, and they just want easy money, and they believe that they're their audience. And if they're not resonant at a certain level and they're not offering a service that matches that ideal audience, they're not your ideal client. And as I said, not everyone who has pain, stress, or needs healing, and that's for all sorts of reasons. It can be due to your experience, it can be how people resonate with it, people don't like what you offer or how you offer. I mean, we're all different, so what appeals to someone won't appeal to someone else. If someone might trust someone, but they might not trust someone else. We are all unique, and we've got to understand that why people pick different coaches, healers, or therapists is all different. And again, they're not the same client who goes to your therapist friend. They could be. They may end up coming to you, but often our ideal clients, and particular soul clients, are quite unique because they're coming to us for a particular reason. And as I said, just like you merely wish to be a client, it's not the clients who you think should come. So, I mean, I hear a lot of people saying, they should be coming to me, I could help them, blah, 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 blah. Now, for all sorts of reasons, they're maybe, you're not their ideal therapist. And I know examples for me. I had someone who was a Reiki healer, a gentleman, who assumed I should be his client. Now, I had a lot more experience than him. I was trained trained by some top Reiki therapists and healers, and have trained a lot myself. And if I, was going down any sort of for the Reiki healing, I would have my own choices of who I would choose. But he seemed to assume that I should go to him, and for various reasons I didn't. One, for his charges, that I felt he overcharged. The way he done his Reiki wasn't the same as me. His sessions were very short. It just didn't resonate with me, and we didn't have the same values and ethics. So I was not his ideal client. And another one is, we assume when people, come on our Facebook page, well, a lot of therapists, I say, assume this, that the people who buy our freebies or take our freebies are automatic clients, and that's not true either. A lot of people just come for the freebies and they don't even appreciate or value what you're offering. You want to try and market the ideal client, but you've got to understand that not just everyone who takes your freebies are your clients. A lot of people won't pay for services or won't pay full pay. They always want something at a discount. And again, not everyone in your local area is your ideal client. So I'm going to talk a little bit about who is your ideal client and your soul client. So as I've said before, there's something that resonate, but they're a perfect match. You're both a perfect match to each other for your offering. So you have to resonate with them and they have to resonate with you in an almost way. And okay, we do have clients who maybe we don't like or we don't really want to work with. So they may be ideal clients in financial that they're willing to pay. But can we do our greatest work? And when I talk about soul clients, I'm talking about people are a perfect match to your offerings. Okay, they're a person that you want to work with. They're a person you know deep down that you can help a lot with, and you connect on a level that they are more open to work with you. They're ready to work with you. There's a lot of factors. Okay, now ideal clients want your specific gifts. So what I mean is they maybe want your particular abilities. Okay. They may want your natural traits and personality. So if you're warm and make people feel safe, maybe you're funny, maybe you're quite a firm person, a straight up front person. People come for all sorts of reasons. So it's like if you can imagine why you choose a hairdresser or the person who you go to waxing for. It might be not just their skills, it's you get a good laugh or you can share things. So these are all things that when we talk about ideal clients, are the clients who want what you have. And again, your ideal client is someone that you have a level of experience and knowledge. So they want your type of expertise and knowledge. Now, even if you're starting at the beginning and you're someone who's only got a year or two in Reiki, you're only beginning in the path, and someone's quite happy with that, they'll leave your ideal client. But if someone else is wanting someone that's more experienced or someone that's dealt with particular sets of issues, they're not your ideal client. Okay, now your ideal client is someone who's happy to pay the financial investment that you set. A person that's not is not your ideal client. Okay, now sometimes, yeah, you have to look at your financials. Sometimes we can be charging too little, and sometimes we can be maybe overcharging in relation to your ideal client. We've got to look at that, but they have to be willing to pay and invest. Your ideal client has the ability to locate or use your products and services. And again, what I mean by that is if you're a local therapist, obviously they have to be local. They have to be able to come and you're reachable. If you're too far away and it's more inconvenient, they're less likely to be your ideal client. If you, for example, are offering online services, but this person's not really very technical, it's not very good on a computer, they might find it difficult to use your products and services because of their lack of skills. They may have poor internet connection, so things are not always easy, or they may not have the right equipment. So these are all things you have to think about. And the reason I've highlighted the pink just so we're going through this is so that you can see who are more the soul clients. So here we're going on about resonates with you and what you're offering. Okay, so ideal clients can resonate in a wee bit, but a soul client really resonates with what you're offering. It's almost like they just, yes, this is for me. And there's something about it that makes an impact. Okay. And a lot of times you maybe feel as if you know them or there is something else going on. Okay. Now, they really get or connect with what you offer. So there's something about what you offer that deeply gets them and they feel a deeper connection with you and the service or whatever you're doing. It's almost like they can recognise it's a vocation or something as more is going on a spiritual level. So As mentioned already, very often in the holistic and spiritual field, your ideal client is similar to you, right? So now some clients in lots of ways may not be like you, but there's something about their life experiences. They may have similar values, ideas, or beliefs, or there's something else, something that you have experienced in your life that they're maybe going through the now. So it's someone with similar race lines. It might be someone who's got the same ideas, values, and life challenges. So what is your greatest life challenges? The last video, you designed a client profile of you, right? Okay, and part of that was looking at your biggest pain points. So what I want you to do is to really think about is all those things that happened to you in your life, those things that you've overcame or had to continually overcome, okay? What has been your life lessons in a way? Why did you become a coach, healer, or therapist? So many of us come into this industry from the wounded healer, from a particular challenge. It could be stress, it could be unhappiness, relationship difficulties, suffering from anxiety, stress, depression, health challenges, so much. There's something usually deeper going on. Even if you're someone who hasn't had a lot of these challenges, there'll be something you felt that there was more. Okay. Now, through your life, what has been your biggest pain points? The biggest challenges that you really wanted so much and help with, or that you needed help with, or wish at that point you had received help with, which would have made your life so much easier. Today I want you to list them all. Okay, and what I want you to think about is the huge ones, the big ones. Okay, and you can use this time. These modules are designed that you can come back. That's the whole point. And you might find yourself coming back over a couple of months and going back and dipping in. And and marketing and involving in business is a constant thing. So we start to become more aware of things as we go on. So, what solutions do you really know your product or service gives? Now, I trained in holistic therapies. Okay, I also went to many holistic therapies. I went from everything to naturopaths, homeopaths, herbalists, other than aromatherapy, reflexology, and things like that. And in our industry, we're very much taught that when we go to colleges or training schools, that blah blah blah, this can help with la 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 la, right? And there's all this big huge list. But often, things are not always as straightforward. Some things, yes, for some clients are, but they're not always for every client, okay? And the reality starts setting in when you're in the industry and you start seeing the bigger picture. Things can alleviate stress or they can alleviate this, but sometimes things have to be deeper. And I know that myself because I suffered very serious chronic health challenges from a young age, and I went down this industry and I tried lots of things, and I didn't just do things a couple of days. Most things were about a year and maybe weekly. And many things helped me at a certain level, but it was like plateau. They would only get me maybe up to 3 or 10%. And at one point in my life, I was mostly bed and housebound. And many therapies just didn't cut it. And what it meant was I had to go looking for something else because I recognised that I had been told that this would help with blah, blah, blah. But after a couple of days, whatever the improvement, it wore off and I couldn't sustain it financially. So what I started to do was a lot more research into, holistic therapies that really help with specific issues. So what I want you to think about is really honestly, what product or service do you offer that really does something? So, for example, if you are a massage therapist, or an osteopath or a physiotherapist, and there's something you can really help with most people's pain or posture issues, and that is something that you're very successful, and 9 out of 10 people or more are always pleased after they leave. Well, that is one of your greatest gifts, and that's one of the biggest things that you offer. So it's about looking at, first of all, the biggest and most powerful things that you make an impact. What we tend to do is mark up lots of things, and it can create a sense of distrust. Things can assist, but also we have to really focus it on the things that our service is the greatest. As in what I mean is the where it can make the biggest impact. So today I want you to list all of those things, these key maybe conditions or challenges that that you have great success with. And I don't just mean people are kind of pleased. I mean really pleased with it, and write your raving reviews and say this changed blah 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 blah. And this is the key when we get into more soul clients, because it's about the deeper impact stuff and things that people will rave about, and it gives you more leverage to understand the solutions that clients want. So if you know that you can really help people with pain, you target people in deep pain, people that just want the pain to go away and would pay anything for that pain to go away, okay? Or for that their confidence or self-esteem has got so low they have no quality of life, it's affecting every area of their life. You go for that, you list that, okay? So today, list all the things that you know that you've experienced and you have actually maybe testimonials or have witnessed that your product or service really does, okay? So what challenges does your service or products help reduce or solve? Again, list them all, okay? Now, what I also want you to think about is your greatest referrals. Who are the people that tell other people about what you do? Who shares your posts on Facebook, and who comments, who likes, who leaves testimonials, who buys your products and services again, maybe buys it for other people? Again, this is something I want you to list. List those people, and it's something you maybe want to keep and remind yourself. You maybe forget about people, start listing them. Who are the clients who leave great reviews? Okay, you don't even have to ask them, or if you ask them that, of course, definitely, right? These are the people you want to list. So what solutions do you really know that you're experienced and qualified enough to help, to solve, support, treat, or teach? List them all. What evidence, reviews, or testimonials back this up? So have a look and start thinking, right, okay, even if you're just starting out, what about your case studies, all those kind of case studies you do, and in this field we have to do case studies, we have to, start somewhere. Think about the case studies. Think about what you got back. Now again, if you feel you don't have enough, start doing some freebies, do some taster sessions. That's what it's all about. You need to get testimonials, you need to get leverage, and you need to get experience, okay? What therapy technique approach do you love to work with? Now, what just sings your heart, okay? What do you just get out of the bed? What makes you really just get out of bed and, think you could do it all day? These are the things I want you to think about. Things that, even if you didn't get paid, you would want to do, okay? And what makes you unique? Now, in the type of therapy or healing or coaching, teaching or guiding you offer, what makes you different? So what makes you different from another therapist that you were training with? So if you went to a coaching, seminar or training for a year, what made you different from the person that sat next to you or some of the friends you got to know in that group. Okay? About your Reiki class, what about when you taught or you learnt? What makes you different, and when you're guiding someone, you're moving them forward? What sort of experience, what life experience, what have you invested in this field? What makes you different? Have you other work experience or a career that backs up, that really helps and supports what you offer? Were you a nurse? Were you a counsellor, a social worker? Do you have another area of expertise? Where do you know a lot about some condition that you have lived with for blah, 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 blah? What makes you different? What about your life experience makes you different than them? What makes you more specialised? So, for example, some therapists are great at the practical. Some people are they're more teachers, or they're quite knowledge. So, for example, think about aromatherapist. One aromatherapist might really know the greatest combinations of aromatherapy oils and what to use for specific conditions. Other people are absolutely brilliant at the actual therapy itself. Some people are very good at teaching and passing those skills over to someone else. And some people maybe have particularly, say they're maybe more specialised in menopause or children or blah, blah, blah. So what makes you more specialised? And maybe you're more experienced. Maybe you have years of experience. Okay? So I'll give you an example. The first person that brought me in, introduced me to Reiki was about 27 years ago. And this person was an amazing person. And I mean, he done Reiki to I think he only does it to friends now. He doesn't take clients. He's in his, I think it's 80s now, and he was just a natural healer. And he had it was almost like X-ray vision. He could look through the body, and he offered apprenticeships, which I think is something really Reiki should be done, because I really think that the fact that most people are just doing it over a couple of days is no justice. I think, when it became westernised, a lot of the Reiki is watered down, but he did offer apprenticeships. When I first started Reiki, it was him that guided me and brought a woman, Mary Hall, who's an international Reiki master, who's wrote a lot of books. He brought her over, and I was taught Reiki then. So he wasn't actually my Reiki master, but I actually learnt more from him than I have than anybody else. And he's one of the most experienced people I know in many ways. And he didn't tend to look Reiki as spiritual as most people look at it now. Very much in a physical element in a way, but he was very gifted, and he literally couldn't keep up with the demand. And he actually would have other healers working with him constantly, and people would queue up outside. He would actually lived in a rural farm, and people would queue up. And that's what made him more experienced. He was very gifted, and he's been doing Reiki for a long time. So I certainly would go and pay him anything, because he's the best Reiki healer that I know. And there's other healers that I wouldn't even give, and I have to be honest, just after my own experiences, I wouldn't give them half what I would give this guy. So it's about, there's so many factors when people buy. Okay, so what makes you more compassionate? So maybe you're more compassionate with certain types of client. Maybe you're more empathic. Okay, what makes you more authentic? So what kind of clients do you just be yourself? Okay, so think about all these things. What about you resonates with the type of client that has those challenges? So thinking about the challenges, what about you does it resonate? Now, there can be two parts of a resonance. There can be that similar experience and people just understanding you. But there also can be that element that you give something else that they need. So maybe I'm very much a nurturer, and a lot of clients came to me because they wanted to feel safe and supported and loved and cared for. And despite all the techniques, that's what they wanted. They wanted to be in a safe space. Some people need more a firmer, a firmer approach where people are holding up a mirror. So what is it about you? And what have you in common with them? What can you relate to? And what is the deepest pain points? What's really going on? Because we all know, no matter what's going on physically, there can be other reasons for health challenges, where they started, what's caused, whatever, and even for relationship difficulties, self-esteem. So even though someone comes to you for some reason, there can be something else. But what is the deepest pain point that's motivating them to come? What is the day-to-day biggest pain points, or, as I said, frustrations? And what do they want to experience more of and less of? So, many of us in this field are actually focused on helping people feel relaxed and peaceful and less stressed, because we all know that 99% of people are actually stressed out their box half their life, and they don't even realise it. So a lot of clients want more peace, they want more relaxation and just me time. Okay, so they want more of that. They want less stress, they want less pain, they want less exhaustion, they want less frustration or confusion or chaos. So what solutions can you offer? And what solutions will be an extra bonus to what you're offering? So a lot of people just offer the techniques, so they say, okay, I offer Reiki, it's Reiki that I do, or it's hypnotherapy, or NLP, or EFT, or EMDR. There's so many different things, but that doesn't mean anything to a client. A client comes for the solution, and if you add something else to that solution that's even better, it's a bonus, and it's a bonus that you can sell. So you can say, so for example, someone might offer Reiki, but someone else might do Reiki and something else because they believe that that's what the client would need. And for forgiveness, for example, I trained a lot of different types of stress management, and clients would come to me and it would be stress management, but I would bring in CBT, bring in all sorts, so they would get away with them downloads. And a lot of times I also would make up a back flower essence, a remedy bottle for them. So that was a bonus. So if you can say, I do this, but you get that, this is a bonus, you're making it different. So it's a package. And a lot of times it's actually more cost effective for you and better for you in your business to offer a package rather than just an individual session. And it can even just be that you add another half an hour or 20 minutes or something else to that session, but it makes it more marketable, packageable, and it makes it more like the solution that your client thinks, yes, that's what I need, and it gives them more a sense of trust, and it's almost packaged to what they need. So I sometimes had clients who came who were actually suicidal, are in a very bad mental state, and one of the things I did offer was counselling and the remedy bottles within that session. And it was amazing, just the fact that they got that bottle, it made them feel psychologically so much better. They had an extra aid. They didn't maybe want to go down the medicine, and they didn't want to go down and start taking antidepressants or whatever, but or anti-anxiety medication. But this fact that they had something else other than the session, it was like you were giving them the world. They actually thought more about this bottle than the session, even though I believe back remedies can be tremendous support. The fact we're getting something physical made them believe that what I was offering was was worth so much more money. So you've got to think how your client's going to feel after your product or service. So what are you going to give them? So if they're coming for a solution, reduce pain, more relaxation, or more calm, a healthier mindset, maybe they leave going to make new changes in their life, So what fear or challenge really motivates them to buy these products or services? So maybe it's, fear. With fear of death, with fear of losing our relationships, even losing our appearance, losing our mobility, losing our independence, losing our job. What is the frustrations that would lead them to buy? Are they, is their quality of life? Is their children, getting fed up with their constant stress or their addiction or whatever? Okay, so you've got to understand your client's why. What is their why when they would buy? So think about when we talked about your client profile, what motivated you to buy? Because many people, particularly in the UK, health is the last thing in their list. They wait to the tail end of anything to go and get support. They will spend money on alcohol, foods, entertainment, things like nails and all these kind of things, but they don't focus on their health until they're, really, really ill. So you have to know a person's motivation and what would actually make them buy. What is really important to them when buying a therapy product or service. So what's making them buy and what are they looking for? What would they consider? Think of all the boxes it would have to tick. Is it the brand, customer service, expertise? What that client wants, what they're looking for, what motivates them to make that sale. And when you understand that, you build your marketing around that client. And this is the biggest place where most businesses go wrong, or therapy, industry or holistic industry, the service industry. They tend not to focus on a specific client. But once you start focusing on that specific client, they know that you're offering what they want, and you can show them in marketing because you have to demonstrate that you match them. So it's almost like being a mirror. You're showing up exactly what they want. So once you know their challenges, the solutions they want, and how they want it packaged and brought to them, you meet them there. And you do this through your marketing. So, see attached, as I mentioned, you can watch these videos before, but it's about listing their challenges, their pain points, and looking at the solutions that you can match up. And when we understand our client's pain point, even the ones that we can offer help with, you can draw them in through your marketing. So for example, if you do help clients to relax more, you offer physical therapies that help them, encourage them to feel more relaxed and calm, it's a great way to engage more of those type of clients by putting lots of posts that are related to those type of things, sharing information, looking for blog posts about stress, about sleep problems, insomnia, all the symptoms of stress. Draw their awareness so they recognise they are stressed and they need help. Then, share videos and posts about the benefits of particular your type of therapy. Make it a theme. Make things around the client. So start listing and focusing on their biggest pain points. Thank you.